Guys, Papa Dan here. Alrighty, 3 videos in 2 days. How about that? I think that's a record even for me. But anyways, I'm making this video because I'm joining a group build. The Muscular Dystrophy Awareness Group Build. This group build really means a lot to me. Muscular dystrophy and I go back a long way. We're talking going back to when I was in high school. I always did, the way I got started with muscular dystrophy, and I don't get me wrong, I do not have muscular dystrophy. I've been very blessed. Both of my kids have been blessed. They're healthy, other than my son's arm, but they've been healthy. So when I say get started with muscular dystrophy, watching the telethon every year, looking forward to it, and then actually working with muscular dystrophy. I was, like I said, way back when I was in high school and everything. I used to do some babysitting around the neighborhood for friends of my mom's and dad's. And it was late one night, the Labor Day weekend. I think it was a Saturday night or something. And I was just flipping through channels looking for something to watch. And I saw Jerry Lewis behind a desk. And he was talking to Ed McMahon. And cutting up, having a good time and everything. And I thought, well, this is kind of weird. You know, I could see Jerry Lewis being the guest host for Johnny Carson, which, again, that's dating how long ago this was. And so I just started watching it because I thought that's what it was The Tonight Show, although it wasn't on the right channel and it was on at the wrong time of night. So I just started watching it and then found out what it was and really got hooked on the show. So then I started doing a little kind of like research and everything, kind of getting into it, finding out what muscular dystrophy was and how it affects people and everything. And when I was a sophomore, junior, and senior in high school, I actually started doing some fundraising for muscular dystrophy. Some of the teammates that I had from the hockey teams that I played on and my buddies and everything, we would all get together and we would do different fundraisers for them every year. Then right after high school, right after I graduated, I got the opportunity to actually work for muscular dystrophy. Now when I say work for, it was not a paid position. It was a volunteer position. But my title, if you will, was the Youth Against Dystrophy Program Coordinator for Wayne County, Michigan. So, and what I did in that capacity is I went around to different schools and got them involved in it, helping them with doing fundraising, getting promotional materials out to them, such as posters and banners and just whatever they needed. You know, that's what I helped them with. And then still did my fundraisers that we did every year, my friends and I. In fact, one of the really cool ones that we did was, and I've not seen these in years and years, so I don't even know if they're still around. But you know the little pedal cars that they make for little kids, or they used to make for little kids. Now it's all battery operated. But they used to make these little pedal cars for kids. There was like a car, and I know there was a fire truck, where the kids actually sat in them and pedaled them and everything. Well, they made those for adults too. I would say it was dimension-wise length and width. It was about the size of a Volkswagen, but just it didn't have the whole body on it. It was just like 2 seats and had a little stick for a steering wheel, and you pedaled them. You both pedaled. They made the same thing with boats. But the ones that I'm referring to actually had 4 tires on it. And we did a 72-hour marathon where there was a team of us. We had 2 cars that were donated by one of the bike shops there in Michigan. I believe they were in Ann Arbor, if I remember correctly. But they donated 2 of these cars to us. And then we kept 1 car. We had a 5-mile track laid out in our subdivision that we lived in. And we kept one of those cars going around this 5-mile track constantly for 72 hours. Round the clock, 72 hours. And that was the biggest fundraiser that I had ever done myself personally. We raised a couple $1,000s that year. And people would see us going around and around and around, because I mean we stayed on the same track so that we knew. And I forget now how many miles. I know it was a 5-mile course going through the subdivision, but I forget now how many miles it was total that we did, or how many laps that we did around that in the 72 hours. It was a bunch. But we would take like shifts, there would be 2 of us at all times going around, and we'd do it in shifts. But eventually we had people just coming out and walking along with us, because we'd explain to them we can't stop, we got to keep this car going in motion. And so they'd be walking along with us, and they'd be bringing us out bottles of pop, or showing my northern upbringing there, saying pop, soda for those of you down south here. But bottles of water, they'd bring us out cookies and snacks and everything, and just kind of pass them off to us as we were going by their house. But it was a lot of fun. We got that whole subdivision involved in it practically. And then one of the local news channels actually came out and filmed us going around. They were following us in their little film truck, their news truck and everything, and they interviewed us and everything. But it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. But the biggest thing that I took out of all that was actually getting to meet the kids that have muscular dystrophy. To see them, if they weren't sitting in a wheelchair, you'd never know that there was anything wrong with them. These kids were just so full of life, not complaining, nothing. They were just so full of life. But that's the biggest thing that I remember growing up and being associated with muscular dystrophy. So when Scott over at Saltwater Scale Models, when he said that he was going to be doing this group build, man, I'm jumping on that. I'm jumping on that. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to be building here in just a second. But what I'd like to do, everybody that joined Kenny and I on the tribute build for Chris Cortell, I would like to see every one of you jump in on this group build. To me, this would probably be the biggest one, other than the cancer awareness build that we do every year. And I would like to see this become a yearly group build. So Scott, if I can help you in any way, please feel free to contact me. I'll leave my email address down below in the description box there. Please, reach out to me. I'm here. Let me know what I can do to help you. So, but like I said, everyone, and I can't remember the final number now that we had for that group build for Chris. I know it was well over 100. Well over 100. I would like to see every one of you get involved in this group build. It's a very, very good cause. So, now what I'm building, as you know, I'm on a large scale model kick. So, with getting old, my eyes, So I've got it narrowed down to 2. Because I know Scott said it was a muscle car. So I got to looking at my large scale kits, and I've got 2 that I'm pretty sure you would consider a muscle car. Let me know if they're not, and I'll see what else I can come up with. But they're both 1/16 scale. Yes, they're both 1/16 scale. And the first one is the 82 Pontiac Firebird. Or the other one would be the 79 Pontiac Trans Am, the Firebird. So it's going to be one of these 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this, the Bandai kit, the Excalibur SSK that I just showed you in my last video. I'm going to do that build, because then that way I can shut him up and he won't be screaming at me, build me, build me, build me anymore. I'm going to get that one done, and then I'm going to jump right into this one. This will be my next build. Will be this group build. Then right after I'm done with this one, I'll get back on the Jaguar and get that one done. So that's what Papa Dan's doing. So, okay, again, I challenge every one of you that joined the Chris Cortell group build, please join this one, okay? Thank you very much, guys, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.